Now that we have pulled out the data we need, it's time to make a visualization of our data to make it easier to look for patterns. Scientists will often visualize their data with graphs. Can you tell if more caterpillars were attacked on one plant type compared to the other? Sometimes looking at the numbers alone is enough to answer our research question. But often it's easier to see differences in our data if we make a graph that can show us really clearly how the numbers are different. And it also shows us how different they are. It can also make it easier to share our work with others if you can show somebody a graph than if you just give them a bunch of numbers to look at. So, what kind of graphs do scientists use to share their findings? Let's go over a few together, and you can decide what would be the best way to make a graph of your caterpillar data.
The first type of graph is a line graph. These are used to show changes over time. You can also compare multiple time periods by plotting different sets of data on the same graph. For example, you might use a line graph to show the amount of rainfall in Morro Canyon over the course of the year, like you see in this graph. The next type of graph is a bar graph. This is used to compare different categories of data. So, for example, a bar graph might be used to compare the average height of different plant species. The last type of graph is a pie chart, and this is used to show parts of a whole. So, for example, you might use a pie chart to compare how much of the soil is made up of dirt, air, and water. So, what type of graph do you think would be the best choice for answering our research questions? Where will more caterpillars be eaten by birds? On plants with one adaptation or a different adaptation? Go ahead and talk to your research teammates and decide if you think a line graph, a bar graph, or a pie chart would be the best option for displaying our data about caterpillar attack marks.